As Orthodox Catholics, we have the phenomenon of images in church, and sometimes we wonder, why is it that we have images? Well, there are a number of reasons for it. Perhaps the most fundamental reason is God created the world, and everything that he created is good and true and beautiful. He made us in his image. We are images of God. We are icons of God. And in fact, the book of Genesis calls us that, icons of God, of the Holy Trinity. And the presence of all physical things, especially things like icons and statues, come from that fundamental truth. Now, the most fundamental incarnation of God, in the fact that God, the Word, became incarnate, is another form of icon. God was not remaining, he wasn't content to remain invisible. God became visible, material, and real. The divine person took on human flesh so that God could become visible. And then the Holy Spirit calls together the apostles and forms the church. Again, another visible manifestation of invisible grace. And what about the sacraments? The sacramental mysteries are all visible manifestations of invisible grace. This is how God has worked throughout the millennia. He has made the invisible visible so that we could participate through them in invisible grace, in invisible realities. And things like the sacred images have to be understood in the same way. They are not something that we worship any more than anyone should worship me. The fact that I'm an image of God doesn't entitle me to be worshipped. However, it does act as an important sacramental, if you will, reminder to them of what's invisible, of God, the God who created me, the God that was real. And so these images are there to be venerated. Venerated as I would venerate a heroic deed of someone that stands for something, a truth or a good that needs to be proclaimed. I'm not worshiping that person, I'm honoring the deed because the goodness of God is behind that deed. St. John of Damascus and St. Theodore the Studite, in the midst of the iconoclastic controversy that took place in the 8th century and the 9th century in the Christian East, said it very well. I'm not worshipping the wood of the cross. I'm worshipping the one who was crucified on the wood for my salvation. I am not worshipping this icon. I am worshipping the one who is depicted in this icon, who wishes my salvation. And so this is not the same as idolatry, which would be to turn that thing into God, as though there were nothing more divine than that thing. This is not what we're doing in the sacred images. The sacred images are, if you will, a portal into heaven. There is a deeper, more fundamental reality behind them, but we can use them like a portal, like a door, to go to that reality, which is God.